Salaam Nerds is brought to you by halalshirts.com, where you can find fun novelty gifts for your Muslim friends. While you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Yo, Salaam Nerds! It's your boy Neebz, aka Watch with Neebz, and I'm here with my boy Jazz, aka the Scarlet Jazz. What's going on?
I am never ready for these. Every time you do that. The Scarlet Jazz.
The Scarlet Jazz.
I'm not evil. I'm a mother, okay? I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh, man, that's funny. That's
spoilers.
Oh,
sorry,
yes.
that may have been a spoiler.
Before we go into spoilers, we want to introduce you to our guest, and that is Marissa, also known as Marmar, and she is joining us today, and she's got the third eye. What's going on, Marmar?
Hey guys, what's up? Yes, I am the Eye of Agamotto, or this may or may not be a spoiler, but if you've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, you know this reference. But
oh man,
it's all connecting with what we're talking about.
It's all part of the same multiverse. Like we're
exactly
universe 1218 or something, right?
Yeah. Oh, listen, all I'm saying is that a Infinity Stone in your forehead, or are you just happy to see us?
I definitely have better vision now. Definitely have better vision now.
Vision.
Nice, she can see through bullshit, man. It's okay.
Nice. I like that. Well, today's episode is going to be about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is what everybody is talking about on the internet. Everyone's talking about it with their friends, and we're going to talk about it in the podcast, and we're going to break it down for you guys. But before we do, you have to know that there will be spoilers in this episode. So if you have not seen Doctor Strange, time to scroll away. All right, I think they're gone. Let's go.
You think so?
I think they're gone now.
Maybe.
Yes. All right. Let's talk about Multiverse of Madness, and let's talk about what our overall view of the movie is. Because I have thoughts, you have thoughts, and I think it's going to be time for us to share them. So why don't we start with our guest? Marissa, what did you think of the movie overall?
Multiverse of Madness. Honestly, I did have a great time watching it. It was definitely a good vibe going. It felt like a ride, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it felt like it was definitely a lot faster of a pace than I expected it to be. But I did enjoy it overall. I think a lot of it was having to do with Sam Raimi's direction. I do love a lot of the horror elements of this movie. That was definitely one of the things I loved.
You called it a horror movie, and I'm like, yes, it's a horror movie.
Yes. So I feel the same way. I feel like when I went into that movie theater, between like the first 20 minutes when you find out Wanda's the villain, like you find that out super quick. They do not hesitate with that. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's that kind of movie. It's like, you have to kind of like shift your perspective. And like, I feel like if I didn't shift my perspective and I'm like, you know what? This is not a Marvel movie. This is a horror movie. And this is a Sam Raimi horror movie. As soon as I shift that perspective, I knew I was going to enjoy the ride. I knew I was going to enjoy the movie because I feel like a lot of people couldn't make that shift. And I feel like that's where a lot of people are having issues. But I think you hit it right in the forehead, no pun intended, on like what the movie is about. It's a ride. It's a horror movie. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be campy. And if you're expecting like Eternals, you're going to be disappointed. If you're expecting, something like the first Doctor Strange, you're going to be a little disappointed. So I agree with you. It was a ride. It was very enjoyable. Good vibes whole time.
Yeah,
loved it. What about you, Jazz?
So, I actually did like the movie. I don't know if I can call it a Doctor Strange movie, though. To me, this was a Wanda movie.
Yeah, I can agree to that. Art. It's like, it's called Friday the 13th, but everybody calls it a Jason movie, right? It's the new Jason movie. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's the vibe here, right? Jason is the killer, and Jason is the star of the movie. And nobody gives a shit about the camp counselors who are like banging in the freaking camp counselor room.
Exactly.
No, I mean, Wanda, by the end of it, she was, somewhat redeemed. She may not be alive. I think she's still alive. But that's the thing. Like, this movie was about her journey, again, through grief, again, just like WandaVision. Doctor Strange was really just, a secondary character if you look at it. And so,
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fair to call it the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. This should have been Wanda and the Triverse of Sadness.
The Triverse.
They went to 3 universes. Can you really call it a multiverse with 3 universes and 1 in-between universe? I don't think so.
What do you mean? They went to one where they were paint?
For like half a second. That doesn't count.
That's true. That's true.
They were traveling through universes. They didn't go to that universe.
That's true. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I do agree, Jazz, that I wish if we were going to call it Multiverse of Madness, I want a lot of madness within the multiverse, and I do wish they, I think, portrayed that a lot more of how insane and chaotic traveling through all of it was. Like, especially, I mean, again, like they did show like they're in paint, they're in like the mirror dimension and all of that, but I definitely wish there was a lot more campiness or a lot more chaoticness, especially when you have America Chavez as a character who literally travels the multiverse to have that opportunity.
Right. She was not even her main character. Like, she was just there.
They didn't use her that great, but like you know what? Like, I still think it was awesome because it was fun. Latino representation is so important, and I feel like I'm really excited that the Latino community has the representation that they wanted. So that's really great. But yeah, I feel like they could have done a lot more with her, and like, you know what, maybe they still will. I feel like she may be one of the most important people if they end up doing a Young Avengers, right? That's what everyone's hoping for, right? So we'll see that. But I agree, it doesn't feel like a Doctor Strange movie because the Doctor Strange movie apparently happened without us even knowing, because apparently Mordor and him are fighting and beefing, and we didn't get to see any of that. Apparently they just like glossed over that with like one line and say, in my world you hate me. No other explanation. Nothing else. Is he dead? Is he alive? Did they fight? Are they just like, have competing podcasts where they're just beefing with each other? Like, what's going on with them? Like, I don't understand.
Okay, honestly, when I tested the line, I'm like, I must have missed something. I must have forgotten. Yeah. My memory's going a little. I'll be very honest. I don't remember what I did this morning, this afternoon. I probably won't remember what I did tonight. But when they said that line, I was like, hold up. Did they fight?
No.
Where did that
we never
come
saw
from?
it. Like, that's the thing about this movie. I feel like so much happens off screen, right? Wanda's entire descent happens off screen because, like, and that's one of the people a lot of people hate because, like, they did all this stuff doing Wanda's character development, and she's like learns her lessons, and then we're supposed to expect that 12-second end credit scene is pretty much her relapse, right? For the whole thing, right? And like, I can see logically it makes sense. Emotionally, it doesn't. Like, I didn't get the emotions, and a lot of people have that disconnect, right? But once I learned it's a Sam Raimi movie and it's a horror movie, I'm like, okay, they're not going that route. Like, you got to ignore the emotional part because nobody's over there thinking like, what's Freddy Krueger's development? How did he get this way? What made him put on the knife gauntlet and kill people in their dreams, right? Nobody is saying that, right? For horror movies, and like, once you accept that it's a campy horror movie, I guess you kind of throw that out the window.
Why shouldn't we discuss that? Why can't we discuss Freddy's backstory and the trauma he went through to get to that point?
Yeah, right? Look at his face, man. Like, how would you react if your face looked like that, right?
My God, I can't imagine the amount of bullying he went through. Maybe these people deserved it. Okay.
Well, apparently Freddy was burnt alive. That's how he got that way.
Yeah, I think that was what the story was. I think it was like,
But you don't find out like 3 movies later. Like, it's like, it's crazy.
It wasn't like the 2012 one where you can actually find out what happened. Like, it was not like one of the original Friday. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. So it's wild. But I get why people have a disconnect with the whole Wanda story because so much happens off screen and we're just supposed to accept it. But like, Marvel has been so good with letting us know in the past what's actually happening, where this is going, So it's a little weird, but I totally get people's issue with it. I get their gripe with it. I was able to adapt and go, fuck it, this is going to be a ride and I'm just going to enjoy it.
Well, lucky you. Some of us have emotions, okay?
Boo-hoo. But you know what I did love? I did love the fact that like when you dream, you're looking at your multiverse self. Yeah. I have never heard that before, and I was like, wow, this is such a simple concept. There's no way somebody hadn't thought of this before. And I guess this movie popularized it, but somebody had to have thought of that before.
Oh, for sure. So there's no way this was an original idea.
It's such a simple idea, and I'm just like, damn, why did that never cross my mind? It's so simple.
I'm sad now.
Because like, there's probably versions of me with like, happy, married with kids, and like there's a one with me with a podcast.
That's exactly where I was going. I was like, my dreams are awesome. What the hell am I doing with my life?
Yeah. like in the Marvel universe, there's like they believe in us because we're in the Marvel universe and we're called like Universe 1218. And like I did a TikTok about it, and someone's like, "Damn it, we're in the only multiverse that doesn't have powers." I'm like, "Listen, we barely have rights. You're talking about power." In this universe, we barely have rights. Come on now.
Rip Roe v. Wade.
Oh man. So all right. So let's go into Wanda and her villain her villain arc. I mean, how did you feel about Wanda as a villain? So Marmar, why don't you go first?
I'm Team Wanda all the way.
Yes.
And it was incredible to. Well, I do agree that I wish we got to see her kind of that downfall or like that her sinking into her villainy, but I do like. I loved what Elizabeth Olsen did with the character in this movie. Like I loved that combining Wanda's powers with the Sam Raimi horror direction was so cool to see. I love those horror those Evil Dead references that were kind of sprinkled throughout this movie as well too. And honestly, we just need more female villains in general, and it's just incredible to see Wanda just embracing that unapologetically. And while I do love, I love emotional and backstories to kind of resonate with why she is doing what she is doing too, and then there's another side of it where I'm like, I just want to see her, and pardon my language, fuck shit up. I just want to see her just body everyone that she runs into just to prove how powerful she is, and to not mess with her.
Kind of did.
I love that line. I love that line on TikTok where I support women's rights, but I also support women's wrongs.
Exactly.
That's what. I love that. That's so good. But Wanda was definitely like she wasn't listening to anybody, right? So it reminds me of that. I'm gonna put me first. I'm gonna put me first. Forget the other 813 Wanda. She's like, first. She put herself first, man. Sometimes women, you gotta put yourself first, man. You gotta do that.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's all good.
And listen, if you told me that there would be a Marvel movie where the hero is a zombie and the villain is a hot mom in MILF jeans, in mom jeans, that would be really hard to believe.
What's on your mind?
That was a little bit of a Freudian slip.
He's turning so red. It's so cute.
MILF jeans.
MILF jeans. Hey, it's the multiverse
it's fine,
of
man.
At this point. It's called mom for a reason. It's called mom for a reason. It's the acronym. How are you? It's a mom movie. I posted this where it's why would you post it on Mother's Day? Why is it on Mother's Day weekend? It's because it's a Mother's Day movie, obviously.
That makes sense. Actually, it is a Mother's Day movie, man. Take your kids to watch Multiverse of Madness on Mother's Day. Oh,
there's only one thing I would not forgive them about in this movie. It was a stupid ass wink they made Strange do. I know it has to be every movie, but did you have to make the zombie do it?
Oh yeah, that was bad. That was bad. The zombie wake up was not my favorite, but I guess the campy horror movies makeup is what they were going for, which is fine. But I did like all these cool references. When she comes out of that gong, that was a reference of The Ring, and she's going through the mirror, so you can see her getting cut up and then healing, which is really cool, which is a big difference from when we see that's what lets you see oh, this is not the same Wanda from Endgame or Infinity Wars. That was she was a regular person. You could punch her and she would get knocked out. This is a whole different Wanda. She's healing. She's powerful. She can take a hit.
She was broken. I think that's one of the most powerful things we saw from that scene. That she's broken. She's not the same.
Yeah, and she's broken because she lost her kids. But if you really think about it, how long did she really know those kids, right? She knew them for 2 days.
Bro, it was 2 days to us. It was months, if not years in that dimension.
No, it was just 2 days. Remember, they talk about it. Remember?
To us.
Dimension.
It's 2 days
I'm talking
to
about
us,
in WandaVision.
Man. Yeah.
No, in WandaVision, it's 2 days.
Yeah, to us.
No, to her too. Because Vision goes, oh, our kids grew in 1 day. We did all of this in 1 day.
Well,
Vision says that line. No, I think it really happens in 1 day.
No, I think it was a bit longer in their universe, man. I think they were stuck there. People, it felt like it's like the hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z, right? We're there for a day, but a year inside it has passed. So
no, I don't think you're right. I think it was just a couple of days for them too.
God
I
damn,
don't know. We'll have to look it up.
We gotta look that up, yeah.
We'll have to
look it up. The thing though, to your point, it's once you're a mother, it's when she kind of manifested these kids, the motherly instincts kind of came in, and she unapologetically and full-heartedly loved it unconditionally. So I guess from a mother's standpoint, like she was when she lost them in WandaVision, she was like she was kind of just trying to hold on and get them back. And also too, I think she was dreaming about them as well too. Like every night, that whole speech of every night she had that same dream, and then woke up and it was a nightmare.
Yeah,
so I think that,
sure. Like I'm like being cheeky, but like I mean, like you ask any mother, like the first day she meets her kids, like instant connection, right? It doesn't matter if it's a day, but like one thing is like this is my theory. It might not be true, but you know, at the end of WandaVision, where she's doing the spell and she's like, and like her kids are yelling out, "Mommy, help!" That's the same scene, I think, of like when she goes in when America punches her and she's in front of her kids and the kids run off and go, "Mommy, help!" That's the same. That's the same scene. That's the same "Mommy, help!" So I think that's like,
wow.
It was foretelling, and they filmed both WandaVision and Multiverse of Madness at the same time, which is why the kids look the same age, because like it's been like a year or something between the two movies, so they would have definitely grown. So that was the same scene, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I like how they connect that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah. So there is a different time inside the Westview universe.
Okay.
The whole thing happened in about a week, right? But in episode 4 of WandaVision, it was Monica Rambeau who, you know, comes out or in. I can't remember exactly which way it went. But she was in there for 3 weeks at that point. But small period she was in. So the time in the Westview universe does move differently.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So it could have been way longer than what it appeared to be to us.
Okay, I'll buy that. But like low key, those kids were kind of annoying. Like,
oh hell yeah, they were.
Oh my gosh!
Kids.
I'm glad you said that.
When I heard that ice cream song, I was like, "You can have them, Wanda. You can have the kids." Like, I don't give a corny ass kids with their ice cream song.
Those kids were. I mean, they acted the best they could at that age. But the second time I viewed it, I was like laughing my butt off because I was just like, this acting is.
So bad.
I mean, the kid. I mean, they're kids. Like, you know, they say the darndest things and they sing the darndest things.
You can tuck me in, mommy.
Yeah, but when they said that, I was like, okay.
Oh my
We're
God.
just too cynical. We're so jaded. I love it. You can tuck me in, mommy. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
I don't know, but what was the ice cream song? It barely rhymed. It wasn't good.
It didn't rhyme.
I can't even tell you. It was just it was fleeting. I was like, okay, like
it reminds me of that Family Guy episode, like mom, mama, mommy, mama. It's like
Stewie saying
Oh my God. All right. One thing I did want to talk about. I wanted to talk about representation on this show, right? Obviously,
Movie.
We wanted. What is the movie? So basically, one of the funny things that happened was there was this hijabi lady in one of the scenes, and I was like, when you're Muslim, there's like an urge to always like your eye always goes to the one woman in the hijab and stuff like that, and she was really in there for like quite a few scenes, and she ended up being a follower of mine. She follows me, and then she contacted me. Yeah,
I'll get her on here.
Yeah.
I tried. She said she couldn't, but I did send her some questions, and she answered them for me. So I'm going to share my answers and questions with her. Hold on. Let me pop into here. Her name is Labida Ahmed, and I asked her 3 questions. I asked her, let's see, where did they film and how long was the filming? Did they specifically ask for a Muslim in that scene, and how was the experience? So when I asked her, they filmed in London, but they tried to make it seem like New York, so it really wasn't New York. And she said there were long, long days. She said it was in March, and they filmed from 6 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. So she was in 2 scenes, in the reception and the, the wedding. So she was in 2 scenes. And then she said she didn't specifically ask for a Muslim, but she actually wears a hijab in real life. Like, she's not one of those people that just puts it on for diversity's sake. Like, she is actually a hijabi, so that's authentically who she is, which is amazing. I've never seen them do that. Because in Spider-Man, the woman who wore the hijab wasn't actually a hijabi, so this time they actually got her a hijabi, which was really, really nice. So I thought that was cool. And they probably were like, okay, yeah, let's diversify. Let's get her in there. And then she said the experience was amazing. She sat right behind Benedict Cumberbatch, so she tried to play it cool, but she was internally freaking out the whole time, which I totally get. I totally get.
He's a British actor. It makes sense.
That was really funny.
Oh. It's awesome,
but you know what? One of the things I do want to talk about is, like, I don't think Doctor Strange does a good job with representation because they take a lot from Hinduism and Buddhism, and like when you go to Karmal Taj, there's all white people there. why are there all white people in Nepal? I don't understand that, right? So like, here's some things that they take from Hinduism. One is like the Book of Ashanti. That's something they take.
That's very on the nose, actually. Like,
yeah, like it has mantras and stuff like that. That's related to Buddhist and Hindu stuff. The Thousand Hands, that thing where he does the cape, he's done that twice. He does that in Endgame, and he does it here.
Yeah.
The third eye itself. Even their Wi-Fi password, Shambhala, right? Even that's like a birthplace of one of their gods. And then when Doctor Strange does that shield thing, it's like a chakra, right? So they take so much from Hindu culture, and they barely have any Indian or Hindu people in their Kamotage thing, right? Or in the movie, or as any character. And I feel like they really missed the mark, right? And he can't really make that up with like one brown person, and that's Muslim, that's not even Hindu. Like, I feel like they should have some Hindu representation in that movie. I feel like they're really, really lacking. And it's just like, it's the way we feel about Dune, right? Dune takes so much from our culture, or like Islamic culture, but they don't cast anybody in any roles that are Middle Eastern or North African. So it's like, you take, but you don't give. You gotta do both. It's gotta go both ways. So I feel like they're really lacking in that department. That's my little rant about them.
No, that's fair, man.
Thank you for that.
You were right. Like, that was pretty shitty of them. There's no way around it.
Yeah. And they had 2 movies to make up for it, right? Like he's been in all these movies. They could have made up for it in like so many ways, but they're just like, nah, nobody will notice.
No, we'll bring the sorcerers from New York, from London, and from Hong Kong. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, right. like where are the ones from Mumbai, or like, somewhere else?
Or
so we'll
specifically from Kamertage. Where are they?
Kamertage, right? Yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
They were playing drums, I think, while everybody else is actually on screen.
Right. Yo, when she told that one guy to like run, like,
Oh my goodness.
little bitch.
Leave it to a white kid.
I know, right? Brown person would not have ran. They would have stuck.
They have strong mind. They're strong-minded.
Yeah, man. Like freaking like both Indian people, Hindu people, Muslim people. We all fast. We have good willpower. We can definitely stand up to this little harlot. Oh man. But okay, so the other thing we want to talk about, because it's going to take a good amount of time, are the cameos. So let's talk about the cameos.
Oh, there's so many.
All right. I mean, are they many? Because people were expecting a lot more. People were expecting a lot more. So how about thoughts, Marmar?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I was okay. I'm actually, to be honest, I thought there was going to be more cameos than that, because a lot of the marketing and a lot of the buzz are surrounding Multiverse of Madness, and like leading up to Multiverse of Madness, after like Loki, WandaVision, Spider-Man No Way Home, like a lot of people were anticipating it, and there were like a lot of reshoots for this movie. So for people to kind of think that, oh, you just wanted more cameos, but then it's like, it's not too far off to have thought that, because everyone was just assuming that, again, Multiverse of Madness, there's going to be a lot of different multiverses, or a lot of universes, and just like a lot of different variations of these characters that we know. I'm happy that we got what we got, but yeah, to be honest, was expecting more.
Jazz?
I was gonna say, they did get us with the Mr. Fantastic reveal.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Like, my whole theater just gasped, and we were like, what?
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? So like, we were expecting all of these cameos, and people were talking about it, and there was all the buzz. They could at any time told us, hey, lower your expectation, guys. It's not going to be like that crazy, right?
Yeah.
But they said the opposite. They hyped it up. And then the cameos we did get, they ruined them in the trailers. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, we got Professor X in the trailers. We got Captain Carter in the trailers. We got Miss Marvel in the trailer. Yeah. We really just they gave us like only two surprises, and that was it. And I feel like
wait, who's the
that
second?
was what?
Who was the second?
Black Bolt and Reed Richards.
That they
from the Inhumans. Black Bolt.
Yeah, but was that a surprise?
I didn't expect that. Did you?
I thought one of them was going to be in there for sure. That's why. I guess maybe I expected it, so it's not probably something everybody expected then. Okay.
I didn't expect him any more than I expected Reed Richards. Like,
okay.
I also knew that there was a lot of buzz around Tom Cruise playing.
Yeah, there's so much buzz.
Especially since Tony, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, like Iron Man Tony Stark is actually in the Illuminati.
Yes,
so I think a lot of people were anticipating that.
if you notice in the movie, there's an empty seat that they never fill. So in the middle, which is called Professor X comes. But if you go all the way on the right of Black Bolt, there's one more seat and it's empty.
There is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wonder.
don't know if that was, and all the Ultrons are supposedly built by Superior Iron Man. So maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, maybe I don't know. It's a little wonky. It's a little weird what's going on with them.
I feel like you can tell what like there has something that was cut, but you just don't know kind of where. Like because of that, I feel like there were certain things where you feel like maybe there should have been something there.
Honestly, it's funny you mentioned that because I also feel like none of these cameos were in the same room at the same time. I feel like it was all green screen and they were all pretending. Like they're not even looking at each other or facing each other or like there's no eye contact. It's like none of them were there at the same time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The only two that did do that was Captain Carter and Captain Marvel. Because aside from those two, they're like, oh, he's more arrogant than our Doctor Strange, right? But that was the only time they did that. And you're right, because it did not look like the rest of them were there at the same time. I was like, is Tom Cruise recording right now, like a different movie?
Mission Impossible, yeah.
So that's why, Then, they probably just had a scheduling conflict, and they couldn't get him in.
Yeah, probably. What was I going to say? I'm going to say, speaking of arrogant, I didn't like Captain Carter. I don't like her. Like, and I don't want to be like misogynist and stuff like that because I don't think that's.
Oh no, don't.
I didn't like Captain Carter either or Captain Marvel. Like, the power scaling in this sequence in this universe was absolute garbage. I'm like, you're telling me Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah.
She has the power of an Infinity Stone, and she died.
Actually, we don't know that. No, we don't know that. We don't know if this Captain Marvel has the same exact powers as the other one from the Infinity Stones.
She held on to the fight with Wanda initially, but then a statue killed her. That's what's bugging me.
That's kind of whack.
The statue cannot kill her. Like, I don't believe that part. I can believe Wanda got exponentially more powerful. Fine. I can see her throwing around Captain Marvel. Fine. What I cannot accept is a statue.
Okay, I give you that. But I was thinking more of like just like personality wise, because like Captain Carter is supposed to be the embodiment of like what Captain America stands for, right? Just the opposite. Like Sam and Steve, they wouldn't be that arrogant. They would actually try to talk to Wanda. They would be like, "Listen, Wanda, we don't trade lies, right? You say that line to her." Right? It was basically why they didn't kill Vision, right? Captain America would not have done this. He would have tried to talk to her till his last breath, right? At any point he would be trying to be like, this is why we saved Vision, and this is even Sam, who basically does group therapy, right? He's a therapist. He talks to people with PTSD and who get through war. Even him would try to talk to her. Captain Carter did not try to talk to him at all. He's just like, I can do this all day. Bitch, no, you cannot.
Let me remind you how human you actually are.
Yeah.
I'm not a Captain Carter stan at all either, and it's like in What If series, fine. Like, well,
I didn't mind her. I
didn't mind her there, but then the fact that they like brought her back into Multiverse of Madness, I was like, oh, okay, like that's sure, why not? But yeah, I think her presence there was definitely off-putting. And then I guess even when she said, "I can do this all day," I like rolled my eyes so hard.
Yeah.
I was like,
all three of them.
All three of them. All three of them. But yeah, it's hard because like I know like with Captain Carter in general with the fandom, I mean there's definitely a lot of like she is pretty divisive, and I think a lot of it was because we just got Sam Wilson as Captain America, and the fact that like so where's Sam, and now it's like they're kind of just like leaning into Captain Carter, and it's like
no,
and it's like we already got a lot of Peggy already. We got Peggy Carter series as well, and it's like
we got a lot.
And it's like, why are we bringing her back?
What role does she have on Marvel that she gets so much stuff for a character that like no one really knows anything about? That's crazy. Yeah. But one thing that you did mention, when she gets cut in half, which I thought was pretty funny, but it's also a reference to the Spider-Man glider scene with the Green Goblin. It's the same shot. It's the same exact shot. Really? And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I know it was also a reference in What If, too. I know I saw posts where I think in the zombie episode, there was, I think, Bucky through the shield, and then zombie Steve Rogers got
But I'm talking about the actual, like, the shot. Like, the cinematography of how they shot it is like, frame for frame, the same as, the glider shot from Spider-Man. But, yeah, you're right. The reference is from the zombie thing.
So, speaking of Spider-Man, who was supposed to remember Spider-Man existed in this universe?
Everybody. They just don't remember Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They just don't know that Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Why does Wong know who Spider-Man is? This should not be here.
Yeah.
I thought that was a missed thing in there. Okay.
No.
They know Spider-Man's real.
No,
so
it's tricky.
Peter
It's hard to
Parker's not
remember.
real. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, like, y'all
Exactly.
screwed that up so bad.
No. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about before we end this is Doctor Strange and what we thought of him and his character development. Like, what are your thoughts on Doctor Strange, Marissa?
I think we mentioned this earlier in the podcast, but he felt so secondary in his own movie, which is a little bit disappointing. And I've made an argument about this where I think at this point with Doctor Strange in the MCU, I honestly like him as a supporting character more than an actual main character. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but then I feel like because one, like, it's been like 6 years since we got Doctor Strange, like the actual movie. So I think that's the longest like gap that we've gotten for at least a solo movie. So I kind of forgot a lot about his character development. I honestly forgot about Christine Palmer until like she kind of got brought up again and was like, oh yeah, he's still simping for her, I guess, after all this time.
I love you in every universe.
Sure, okay. But I honestly do like, because Doctor Strange and his power set and kind of like what he does, I think serves more as like a plot device for a lot of different characters in the MCU. It seems like more that's why when we got to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I was excited to kind of like see a lot more of his character, but then he's still kind of, again, he was still stuck into Wanda. It felt like Wanda's movie, and he was kind of just playing catch up a lot of the time.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I feel like they tried to make it with the whole, oh, you have to be the one holding the knife. And then he gives like, oh, I'm just going to let America do this, right? And like, it didn't have the emotional effect that they wanted. Like, I was like, no, I still don't buy it. It's just like, not doing it for me, right? So it actually cheapened both of the characters in a way, to be honest.
100% agree. And then the Strange we see in the Incursion universe, when the first time we see the third eye, I was like, bro, you know what's gonna happen here. He has a dark hold.
You know what?
Why are you trying to talk to him? Like,
you know what I thought was weird? They were fighting with music.
I actually thought that was really cool. There's a video game.
Cool.
Did you?
Some dude's making a video game like that.
Not.
He's like, you literally like do certain swipes to make certain like chords, right? And if the chords sound good, it creates an attack. I think Marvel actually ripped off this game. It's like an indie game developer doing this.
Really?
I think they stole that.
Oh no.
I saw on TikTok actually.
That's interesting.
I can't remember the name of the game. I can't remember. He's a black artist, but I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now. He is making this game by himself. He is a solo indie developer, and he's doing this. And I think Marvel just ripped him off, and I don't think he can do anything about it.
Oh no!
I saw this TikTok. I want to say a month or 2 months ago. Like, no, it may have even been longer. It may have been December, November when I saw it. So if any of these reshoots were part of it, I think they stole this guy's idea.
Maybe that would be terrible. Yeah. But like I did at the fight, I don't know. I thought it was a little weird. I thought it wasn't for me. If people liked it, that's great. But like, I don't know. He's like there's like one note and he goes ding, and then like it blows up the whole thing. I'm just
it was a cool concept, but then the music they had, I was like, are you kidding me? No, Toccata and Fugue, really?
You know what I think? I think it just went too long. I think if they did it like one thing, I would have been like, oh, that's cool. But it went a little too long, and that's where they lost.
There was a lot of time spent between those Doctor Strangers, and then one thing that I wish they, I guess, like elaborated more, or it was kind of sprinkled in throughout the movie for his character development, was like they brought up his sister. And it was like, where do we even hear about the sister? Like, why are we, like, why is this relevant? Now, I get it, like, you're trying to make, like, oh, like, I'm your alternative self or whatever, but I was like, this is character development that I would have loved to have seen, like, in the first movie. Like, why are...
Yeah.
So, it was interesting how that kind of was kind of just dropped in, and then it's like, okay, moving on.
Also, is Wanda dead or not?
She's definitely not dead.
I don't think she's dead.
Like, to your point, where, like,
good.
Captain Marvel dying from rocks, but then Wanda also dying from rocks, and it's like, no.
Yo, these people would lose at a game of rock, paper, scissors really badly because rock keeps killing all of them.
Everyone just dies from rocks.
Well, speaking of scissors, we're gonna cut this short because we are out of time.
There's one thing I forgot. His wife, Clea Strange.
Oh,
did y'all forget the mid-credit scene?
Yes, I remember that. That's cool. It's interesting because she is Dormammu's niece, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I had no idea who it was until someone literally explained it to me. I was like, oh look, Charlize Theron.
Yes, they've got the perfect casting for her too. I'm very excited to see her in action, actually.
But well, when she opened the Dark Dimension, I'm like, oh, that's who that is. So yeah, I guess we're going to see them. He probably caught. Damn, yo, Doctor Strange keeps doing these incursions, and like I agree with the Illuminati. Like if you think about it, Wanda just killed a handful of people and wanted her kids, right? In the whole grand calculus of the multiverse, that's not a bad loss. Freaking Doctor Strange has done incursions and killed trillions of people trying to like get his one girl. Like he is definitely worse. He is definitely the worst offender.
Absolutely. But they'll never tell you that.
No. He's a hero here, and Wanda's the villain. But
she enslaved the town. And that's irreputable.
Right. Yeah, man. Doctor Strange is kind of an asshole, man. He is
kind of.
Okay. That guy is out here destroying universes. Yeah. I mean, so far, he's caused an incursion in the What If episode, because that's a different Doctor Strange than the one with the third eye. And then that one, so there's 2 universes that he caused an incursion in that are gone. And then the third one, which is where Charlize Theron was like, yeah, you did it again, dude. So there's 3 worlds where he has caused incursions, where it's possibly 3 trillion people that he have killed. Like, bro, come on, man.
Worst hero of all time.
What are you doing?
He's the new Tony Stark. Like he's literally the new Tony Stark of the space. Like he is causing his own problems.
No accountability.
No
man.
accountability.
No accountability.
Of course.
But if a woman wants just to be with her kids, despite she goes a little psycho and they're not technically her kids, I would let that slide, man.
Let's give them a happy universe.
Also, those kids are annoying, man. Like everybody wins.
It's a win-win-win. Because in that universe, Wanda said, "You know what, Strange? I will give you a universe where you can be with what's her face." So
Christine,
I know. But it's a win-win-win. But no, he didn't go with that. I don't know why.
Because we don't trade lives, guys. We don't trade lives. That's why.
That's literally what a government does.
Well, I don't have anything else to go, but I do want to give a shout out to Marmar, who joined us for today's episode. Why don't you give us your TikTok again so people can find out where they can find you?
Yes, my TikTok handle is Marmaryesa2022. That is MARMARYEESA 2022.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're definitely going to have you back. And happy Asian American Pacific Islander Month, everybody.
Hey.
Yes, likewise. Thank you for having me.
And that's the end of our episode. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more. Also, don't forget to check out our sponsor, halalshirt.com, where you can get fun novelty gifts for your Muslim friends. They have t-shirt, phone cases, hoodies, clothing for children, and much, much more. That's halalshirts.com, HALAL shirts.com.